What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react to the absolute dumbest things that Americans have ever said to people from other countries. And I gotta admit, I'm nervous. I'm a bit nervous about this one. I guess it's because I know what Americans are capable of. I swear Americans are capable of talking about stuff with confidence that we know absolutely nothing about and giving our opinion and honestly stating things like fact, even though we don't know anything about it. I would certainly know as an American myself, but you know what the bright side is? Then we get to make fun of it on the internet. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. So what we're gonna watch here is a TikTok trend where a bunch of people are talking about stories of the absolute dumbest things that Americans have ever said to them. And I am scared but oddly intrigued about what I am going to see here today. So let's take a look.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, ugh, I really want to see you. What country are you in right now? Europe. It begins. No. I mean, sadly, I'm not shocked. I'm not even shocked that some Americans, oh my gosh, Europe, a country, you know, basic grade school geography, not our strong suit, so I'm not even that surprised by this.
So I was a tour guide for the Parliament of Canada as a student. Paid well, loved the job. Some of the best friends I have right now are from that job.
Okay.
So we were walking up to the House of Commons foyer where you enter the House of Commons, and there's three sets of doors. The French doors, the English doors, and then the Canadian doors.
Okay,
So
okay.
the French colonizers, the English colonizers, and then the Canadian doors.
I mean, this is already way beyond what Americans would ever know about Canada or Canadian history. So he's a tour guide at Canadian Parliament giving tours, and there's three types of doors for England, France, and Britain. Okay, got it.
So the tourist asked me, he says, but wait, where are the American doors? Me baffled. I'm like, sorry, what? Pardon me? He said, where are the American doors?
I know, it's fun. His reaction is even funny. It's like in the moment, he desperately wanted the American to have misspoke. In his mind, he was like, please tell me you didn't mean to say that. You meant to say something else, right? It's like, no. Where's the American doors? Come on, where are they, right?
Doors. I asked him, sir, why would there be American doors? And then we just proceeded to look at each other.
Oh.
A good, 10, 15 seconds.
In silence.
So I just, walked away.
That's all you can do at that point. Man, and that's it doesn't help the American kind of stereotype I think there is that Americans think we're really important. Like we're the center of the universe and America must be a part of everything and we do everything the best. Why wouldn't there be an American door in the Canadian Parliament? Even though it has nothing to do with Canadian history. Again, sadly, I'm not shocked to hear this, but I am disappointed.
The tour.
Oh.
I got you. Hey man, where are you from again? Oh, I'm from Bosnia. Bosnia. So what, you speak Bosnia? No, I speak Bosnian. Whatever, dude, same thing.
Same.
What, you speak America? Dude, relax, it was just a mistake.
Do you? That's a good one. That's a good comeback. Do you? You speak Bosnia? No. Same thing. Well, you speak America? Like, don't get so mad. It's like, yeah, it's the American man. It's funny because it's kind of interesting from my point of view as an American. It's like I get what's going on in their mind, but it's seeing it from the outside. It totally disturbs me as well. Americans who are like, oh, what, would say something like this with such confidence. That's the thing. You don't have to be like that. Oh, you speak Bosnia. When you don't know for sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Alright, whatever. So what type of religions do you got over there? Oh, we have like Islam and Christianity. Oh, so you're like Islam? I'm Muslim or Islamic, yeah. Oh, what's that? Get this. Muslims are the people of Islam. Oh, my bad, man. I didn't know. But it must suck not to eat pork, right?
Oh my god. You know, I was even about to give the American in this little skit some credit, because even the little caricature of the American he's doing asked a question. It was like, oh, okay, Islam, what is that? Like, that was a start. And then he just keeps going with all these stupid statements.
I really don't care. Oh, have you read the Bible? Nah, I already told you I'm Islamic. Uneducated. What?
Oh.
What?
That's just rude. Like, that's kind of unacceptable. Like, I don't even care who you are, American or anything, like making fun of someone's religion or whatever, their culture. That's just, yeah, not acceptable, and definitely disturbing when Americans do that and are like, oh, that's not American culture, so that's dumb, or you're ignorant. Yeah, terrible.
So I'm Canadian, and I was working down in California about a decade ago, and we all went out to this bar one night, and I met this guy, and we were talking, and I told him I was Canadian.
Okay.
And he dead-ass looks at me and says, no, you're not. We look the same.
What does that What does that even mean? It's like this guy is like have the audacity to literally tell a person, look them dead in the eye and be like, that's not where you're from. That's not what you are. Like they have the authority to tell you what you are or aren't, like your nationality. They're like, no, you look like me. That's not where you're from. Like, it's ridiculous.
Like, I'm Canadian. I'm still fucking white.
Right.
I think he thought it was like a South Park kind of situation.
Oh, God.
Nope.
Right. This same American probably thought that Canadians' heads, like, pull apart at the mouth, like in South Park, and, like, become detached. This American probably thought that was real, too, if he thinks this.
Friend. Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
Not your guy.
buddy.
Pal.
Pal.
So I'm Swiss and Luxembourgish, but I went to the States for university, more specifically Los Angeles. So I have
Oh, boy.
so many of these because people are fucking stupid out there.
Yeah, I mean, and he went to Los Angeles, where you are honestly gonna find some of the, I don't know, the nice way to say, some of the most interesting characters as far as Americans go. You'd find in LA for sure.
At least every 2 weeks, I'd get asked if I spoke Swedish because I was from Switzerland. Classic. But then, every now and then, I'd just be like, fuck it, I might try and say I'm from Luxembourg. Every time I said I'm from Luxembourg, it'd be, so, like, where in the UK is that? Where?
This accent too, his American accent makes me laugh as well.
Oh, no, it's not in the UK. But, okay, where in Germany? Sorry, my bad. Not in Germany. Somewhere else. I don't know where Luxembourg is. Which country is it? It is its own fucking country. I know it's
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I'll openly admit it, I didn't even, like, actually know much about Luxembourg. Like, I don't know where that is on a map. Like, I'm an ignorant American with a lot, when it has to do with a lot of the world geography and world countries, I'll admit that. Maybe that's my failure. Maybe that's the failure of my little American education when I was growing up. They should have had us fill in more world maps until we got it. But even, so, knowing that I don't know, I would just lead with that. Just be honest, Americans. It's okay to be vulnerable. I think that's the problem. Americans are not only, like, blindly confident and willing to say things that are wrong, like it's right, but also Americans are kind of unwilling to be wrong or show vulnerability. Like, I would openly be like, okay, that's interesting. Where is that country? What language do you speak? Instead of, like, this guessing game of, like, that's Germany, right? Or, nah, that's France, or what?
small, but we're important too, you fucking bitch.
So I know I'm American, but I'm going to get in on this one. I was staying at a hotel on the Strip in Vegas, and I was in the little convenience store just trying to buy a Diet Coke. And
Okay.
a couple in front of me that were from Australia were trying to just buy a pack of cigarettes. And after about 5 attempts, I knew the lady behind the register was never going to understand them. So I offered to them, do you want me to translate for you? And they were like, we're speaking English. And I was like, yeah, I know that. You know that. She doesn't know that. So they were like, yeah, fine.
So this American was watching some Australians try to order cigarettes. Do Australians use another word for cigarettes, or because even I understand what this American means by like, oh, I'll translate for you because you're using some kind of Australian slang or Australian lingo or phrasing, and so I don't think she was being literal, like in that, oh, I'll translate Australianese for you. So
Fine. And so I translated for them. And then after they got their cigarettes, they kind of laughed and were like, thanks. And so when I was ordering my Diet Coke, she was like, that would have been so much easier if they spoke English. And I was like, yeah, they're from Australia. They were speaking English.
right.
And she goes,
Oh, is it because of their accent? No, I didn't even consider that. I figured they were just using Australian slang or something, and there was a miscommunication. It actually took me a minute to realize is it because of the Australian accent? This American cashier couldn't understand what the Australians were saying? Even I mean, our accents are different, but I have never, ever had that problem understanding an Australian. Did they have the thickest accents ever, or was this American thought they were speaking an entirely different language? That's honestly, I don't know who's in the right and who's in the wrong here. I am really curious what those Australians sounded like, to be honest.
because they don't speak English there. And I was like, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask, don't ask.
Never mind. I know who the idiot is here. The cashier just said Australians don't speak English in Australia. Never mind. Cashier is in La La Land here.
What do you think they speak there? And she goes, Australia in ish ease. The fuck?
Australian Inishese. Obviously, Australian Inishese. Doesn't everyone know that?
Okay, so I'm Canadian, and I used to be working in finance as an advisor, and I had this older couple in my office, and I was doing their finances.
Okay.
I was an advisor doing their finances.
Okay.
And we were talking about making conversation, things coming up in the summer. I enjoy all the festivals that happen in my city. I particularly enjoy this one food festival where people of all different cultures and countries set up a tent from their country.
Sure.
And you can try the food of that culture and country. And I just love going and trying all the different foods. And so I said I was looking forward to this festival. And the guy looked at me and said, sell falafel? And I said, what?
What?
And he said, do you sell falafel? And I looked at him and he said, do you have a falafel stand?
What?
No.
First of all, the American needs to enunciate a little more. Yes, I sell falafel, and it's like, what are you saying? And then this American just assumed this person sells falafel. Falafel. I can't even speak. Just assumes. Like, again, not terribly surprised, I have to say, by some of these.
So the first and last time that I ever went to a frat party, I was wearing a beret, this beret, and I walk in, trans people, this and that, and this really drunk white girl comes up to me, and she's like, oh my god, I love your hat so much. Is it a sombrero? I was shocked.
No way. I mean, I hope she was so drunk. Never have I hoped someone was so drunk until this moment. I've never hoped an American was so drunk. To make that mistake, that hat is a sombrero. That's bad. That's like, it's American behavior for you.
Bamboozled, severely discombobulated, but I compose myself and I say to her, no, it's not a sombrero, it's a beret actually. And then she goes, oh my god, your accent, is that a British accent? Are you British? Oh my god, I didn't know that there are Mexicans in Britain.
What? Oh my, this is wrong on so many levels. It's also funny hearing some of these people in their American imitation of what we sound like. We sound very annoying, apparently, and very dumb based on some of these imitations. Oh my god.
Firstly, I'm not Mexican. Secondly, why do so many Americans have this idea that there aren't any people of color in the UK, so there aren't hundreds of British POC who are absolutely killing it on the world stage right now?
Yeah, like to assume that anyone is a certain nationality or race, just to like assume it, and then also like tell them they like that's what you are, or to tell them where they're from, or to assume there's not certain people that live like a diverse set of people that live all over the world. Just not even. And the thing is, fine, but if you don't know, which clearly these Americans do not know, just don't. You don't have to say it. I think that's the lesson here. This was a very drunk person, though.
But whatever. It's Americans. It's Americans, isn't it?
Oh no! No!
All right. So I was in Pennsylvania, right, on a vacation.
Yeah.
And we were visiting this Amish house with a guided tour and stuff. And at the end, there was a little question round where we could all ask questions to the guide.
Okay.
And someone asks the question, do the Amish go to hospitals? And the guide answers, yes, they do go to hospitals. And then the next question is, how do they afford it? Well, yeah, the leader or whatever, I don't remember exactly, goes around 2 times a year to collect money from everyone. They pool that together, and when someone needs to go to the hospital, they take the money from that pool.
Okay.
And everyone taking the tour was standing there like, oh my god, that's so great, yeah, it's perfect. So I say, well, that's basically how it works in Europe. You pay your taxes, everyone pays their taxes, and if you need to go to the hospital, they take from that money and use it to pay the hospital.
Yeah.
Which the guide looks extremely...
Oh, I didn't realize this was an analogy for universal healthcare, and this is so funny. Wow. It's like he had single-handedly convinced this group of Americans that universal healthcare was a good way to do things, but through the lens of like Amish people doing it. But I'm guessing they didn't appreciate his comment on that for some reason.
Disgusted, and she replies with, that's socialism.
Yeah. Oh my, yeah, that's crazy too, because I don't know why. I think a lot of Americans like should agree that our healthcare system is so whack, so bad. It screws so many people over, and yeah, it's this word. It's that word, the forbidden word, socialism, universal healthcare for everyone. That's socialism. That's my imitation of an American, and it's like, oh my goodness, man. But apparently we just need to teach Americans through Amish analogies. Maybe that's the strategy. I don't know.
There's just too many stories, but literally anytime it has to do with the pronunciation of an Indian word, I'm the one who's being corrected. Like ashwagandha and Himalayas.
No way.
It's Himalayas and it's ashwagandha. I feel like every time I tell people this, they're like, I'm like, and I just give up.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Like, you truly... This is even something I can never experience, since I'm American. I can't even break through the barrier of seeing some of the American stupidity at times, like people from other countries, like this girl, who's talking about places she would know how to pronounce as an Indian. And she's saying how Indians would pronounce it, and even still, Americans are like, no, it's Himalayas. And it's like, yes, growing up in America, I would have pronounced it as Himalayas, but as soon as someone from the literal geographic area, the literal culture, corrects me, luckily I don't have this ego that's like, that's not how you say it. And it's so sad to hear about this, man. This makes me a bit sad, I gotta say.
But yeah, literally anytime I have tried to pronounce the actual word, Americans have fought me on it and been like, that's not the way you pronounce it, it's Himalayas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
That's crazy.
There was a Haitian kid in my class and they said, hey Biko, you're from Kenya, they're from Haiti, so y'all both from Africa, right? Someone said I don't count as African American because my family is from Africa and I was born in America. I've had someone legitimately tell me.
It is absolutely mind-blowing what Americans are willing to say. Like, confidently. Again, like, mind-blowing. This is actually really interesting to hear some of these stories.
Tell me, if they didn't want to be slaves, why didn't they fight back? Once people found out that the darker the color, the more heat it absorbs, it was pretty much over for me every summer because someone was going to call out the fact that, oh, you're really dark, so you must be really hot right now. People ask me if I speak African.
No!
No matter what the athletic accolade I get, someone is going to say it's because I'm black. No, seriously, they're just going to be like, oh, you're dark-skinned. Of course you're the fastest on the team. Okay.
Again, this is like at the same time, like this is so cringe to hear about what Americans say, but it's honestly kind of like eye-opening for me to hear some of this as well. Some of these like points of view of Americans and the dumb stuff they say. Like I'm enjoying this on many levels, and at the same time having a terrible time, which is probably good. You know, get outside your comfort zone and all that. I think it's good for Americans to see this kind of stuff, acknowledge it, learn from it, you know? Spread the word.
Stupidity is in no way a specifically American trait, but when Americans do it, damn, they do it well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Canadian, but I went to elementary and middle school in Florida. During my 7th grade geography class, my teacher was doing a presentation on pollution.
Okay.
She showed a bar graph showing a bunch of different countries and how much they contributed to pollution. As you may expect, US and China was way at the top.
Right.
But there was a piece of the graph showing how little Canada contributed. Me being a Canadian, I had a moment of pride and said, woohoo, Canada.
Right.
To which my teacher responded, yeah, but that's because there aren't any cars in Canada, sweetie. And I said, no, there are cars.
What?
My dad has one. We moved here in one. They have streets and highways and everything.
This is from a American school teacher as well. Can you even blame us Americans for being the way we are when our teachers are literally like this, telling people what is and isn't true about their nationality or where they're from? Your experience is false because I think it is not true. It's like, oh, okay. That's our teachers, for crying out loud.
And she said, sweetie, those are sleds.
No way.
My geography teacher.
No way. Like, no way. Like, I hope to God this didn't happen. That is... I'm in denial. That's insane. This is the dumbest teacher in American history right there. You don't drive cars in Canada. Yes, we do. No, that's sleds. You're on sleds. What?
My history teacher told me that British colonialism was a good thing in India because they gave us coffee and paved roads.
This is bad. This is getting bad. This is taking a turn.
Hi. Okay, so before I get into this, I just want to preface this by saying I am from Cote d'Ivoire and Tanzania. I am from Africa, meaning that like that opens up the floor to like so many dumb questions and just weird ass fucking scenarios.
Oh boy.
So I have experienced a lot of dumb questions, I'll tell you that for free. But the one that comes to mind right now, okay, I'll try not to be too specific because in case someone sees it, but even if someone sees it, I don't give a fuck. But anyways, I was out with a group of people, and one of the people literally looked at me and asked, do you guys have highways wherever you're from? This babe literally asked me if we have roads.
Americans have a special way. This is something else I'm learning from this video. Americans have a special way of being incredibly insulting and condescending without even trying. Like, truly.
Wherever I'm from. Like, with her whole chest, asked me if... The nigga was too stunned to speak, I'll tell you that for free. Ugh.
Oh, no! Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay. Just to give credit here, that was by TikTok Reacts, and I'll give that video a thumbs up, although I have to say, I did not enjoy that. I did not enjoy... I enjoyed the eye-opening perspective and, like, seeing these things that I think as an American, I in day-to-day life, I don't get to see this. Americans don't act this brand of stupid towards me, only towards people from other countries, so... That was real interesting and eye-opening to see. So I enjoyed that part of it, but the pure, like, rude, inconsiderate, disrespectful, ignorant statements and stories about Americans, by Americans, said here today is wild. It's crazy. This is going to take me a while to recover from. I knew this was going to be bad, but I didn't know it was going to be this bad. But I don't know. I don't know what I learned from this. I kind of knew Americans. I kind of knew there was a really, really large, like basically no limit, no upper limit to what Americans are capable of saying in ignorance. I didn't know how far that limit went, and I feel like I kind of touched it today. I encountered something existential today in terms of American dumbness. So that's what I did today. And for that, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on all this stuff. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to videos about the UK and UK culture and just culture outside of America, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.